Hello and welcome. My name is Christoph Pütz and I am your IT career guide. In today's video, I want to pick up the IT Job Interview Toolbox that I mentioned in another video. If you have not seen it, I will link to it up here. And the basic idea of the IT Job Interview Toolbox is to have all the pieces ready that potentially come towards you as a question, so that you're not sitting there in a job interview stumbling to find an answer. Let's say you're being asked about a difficult project or something like this, where you're just struggling, okay, what project and how can I word it? So the idea really of that IT Job Interview Toolbox is to be fully prepared when you walk into a job interview. So today this is more a follow-up video again. If you work in information technology and you go to job interviews, there's one type of question that you can always expect, and those are the behavioral questions. So really, tell me about a time when you were dealing with a difficult person, or tell me about a time when you saved the day. So these type of behavioral questions really require, I want to say, a more sophisticated response, because you want to showcase that it was really a challenging problem, and then what you did to solve the problem or to address the issue or to deal with somebody that was showing erratic behavior. So, I mean, some people under stress, they're just not good to work with, and that could be one of those situations. And it might have to do with, let's say, teamwork. So if you get asked that specific question, if we want to take this one and pick it first. So tell me about a time when you were dealing with a difficult person. That could be your manager or a peer. So let's say it's somebody from your team and you have to deal with somebody that is just freaking out and making mistakes left and right, and whatever is going on that day, nothing is going the right way. So that is something where you could explain the situation and then really have that answer fully prepared. A more common situation is probably really where, well, you're not really getting along with that person. And that happens. We cannot necessarily pick our teammates, especially when we join a new company. So, and then if you look at that question again, tell me about a time when you were dealing with a difficult person on your team. And you can truly say, it's like, okay, there are some individuals that we meet in life where we don't always have a choice to pick the right person that we enjoy working with. So when I worked at XYZ company, there was this one individual and we just didn't get along. We had a very different work style, a different opinion about how to do certain things, and it was just overall a lot of friction. So that is the first part of that situation. So you describe the situation, you showcase really what the challenges are. So it's not an easy challenge, don't underestimate that. And then you can go and take that second portion of your response and address how you were dealing with that person. So, I mean, you could say, I go and talk to my manager and just discreetly ask, what would you suggest how I work with Joe or Jane to make that relationship a little better? Or what would you recommend what I could do differently that would help with Joe, Jane, whatever, to really understand who I am and maybe accept me as a person as I am, or see my point of view in regards to certain ways of working. So that's one way of doing it. So where you go and approach the manager, it's in a separate conversation, so you don't do this in public with anyone, and it really shows a mature and professional behavior. You could also, if you feel confident yourself to do this, describe what you did to prepare that situation. So when you feel confident enough to really say, no, I got this myself, I know what I can change from my side, I'll just go and take Joe out for coffee or for lunch, and we just talk and chat a little bit and get to know each other a little bit better. And maybe there's something in Joe's personal life that causes his behavior at work, or maybe his behavior is normal and you're the one that didn't fit into that team. And then you can really come back into that job interview and say, okay, I realized there was already a certain team dynamic. It's an it's a group of people that have worked well together over the years. They have established their procedures and how they work with each other, and then I come in and it just caused a lot of concerns. They felt threatened a little bit because my work style is that I really look at the newest technology and I try to look for new solutions that help to make our life better. I automate. I use a lot of technologies really to make my life easier and eventually try to share that with my team. And Joe and the other guys just felt threatened a little bit. So once I realized that they were feeling that way, so it was much easier for me to then realize what the situation is and adjust my behavior to be less pushy and try to pull them more in and have them help me to make that decision and kind of guide them towards to that solution that I had in mind. I might have to compromise, but overall, once I start involving them into creating that technical solution for that problem that we were working on, I get their buy-in, and they also get to know me a little bit better, and they understand what my way of thinking and working is, and maybe creates more of that personal connection that is really needed to become part of that team. And it's not always working out that way, but I think as mature professionals, we have to be able to find a level to work at together so that we can deliver the work we have been asked for by the company together. We don't have to be necessarily friends that we go out for a drink and to a happy hour afterwards, but no, we can have that mutual respect for each other, that we're both IT professionals and we're both an important part of that team. So with that specific question, I hope that gives you an idea, okay, what is the hiring manager specifically looking for? So the hiring manager has a team or wants to build a team, and he or she wants to find out if you are a team player. So this behavioral question is very important so that you describe the problem, but then also the steps that you did to address the problem, and then describe, of course, what the outcome was. So you can say from then on, Joe and I, we had a really good relationship, and together we tackled some of these really larger problems that were sitting on the shelf, and it was just like the can that you kick down the road. Nobody was willing to tackle these problems because they felt too challenging. Joe and I, we found our rhythm together, and we both felt confident that if we would team up and tackle this specific problem, that we could deliver for the company. So, and that's really where you take this three-pronged approach. You describe a problem that is really a problem, a challenge, something that you see in your day-to-day life. You describe the solution, what you did, and then you describe the positive outcome, because that's really where you want to get to. You want to show that positive outcome. It's not just you solve the problem, now you take this solution and you do something with it. And that is really what the hiring manager is looking for. And just from my own experience, when I was interviewing people, a lot of people have problems with these behavioral questions. They do one part and they describe a problem that is not really a problem. I mean, if that is your problem, well, we have a different problem here. So you get the idea of what I'm trying to say. So don't pick something that is too easy. It has to be a real life challenge. It has to be a real life problem. So, and we're all people with different mindsets and different ways of working. We all come from different backgrounds. So having a good team assembled is very important. And then if you get asked this question, the connection really is, they're looking for teamwork. Can I integrate into an existing team? What happens if somebody else joins that team and creates friction? So there are quite a few moving pieces here, and that's very important for you to understand. And that's how you can construct that answer. So, and then coming back to that overall IT job interview toolbox that I'm kind of advertising, it's not a box, I'm just trying to promote the idea, is look at these type of questions and come up with 2 or 3 examples so that you can pretty much pull them out of the drawer when you are asked during a job interview. And then you rehearse this. So you start writing these down, and then you go through and rehearse these. So when you go into a job interview, that you almost have the response memorized. You still want to have it flow naturally. So don't just write something and really read it from your memory. But no, you want to have that natural flow. Have that answer written down, that you know the key bullet points for this was the problem, this is what I did to solve the problem, and this was the positive outcome. So, and you could also think, okay, maybe I should have one example for a negative outcome, and then you take this another step further. So quite a few things here, and depending on the situation, you pull the different examples out, and then you go through the interview where the answer comes right away. It does not sound like stumbling, that you're putting something together. That's really the key piece. When you're sitting in this IT job interview and you get asked these questions, you don't want to stumble. You want to come over with confidence that you have done it and that you are able to go through and take care of something. That confidence that you display, that will convince the hiring manager, even if you might be lacking a couple of skills or a little bit experience. That confidence and really showcasing exactly the level of detail that is needed, that will help you to get hired. So I hope you liked this video. I would like to hear from you in the comments, and just tell me about what has your experience been, what situations were you in, or what job interview situations were you in, and how did you respond? So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so as well. I would really appreciate it. And then I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.